On the fateful night of 16th December 2012, a girl went through the most unspeakable horror on the streets of the Indian capital. Brutally assaulted, raped, stripped and thrown off a moving bus. Her fight continued for another 12 days. India took to the streets, outraged and united in a cry for justice. While she breathed her last in a Singapore hospital, India wept, still united in its cry for justice. Back then it seemed that this was the inception of a movement for change, that this was the tipping point. But a month later, headlines today tells you how brutality against women continues as if nothing had ever happened.
She was a brave heart who shook a nation and its conscience. An entire country stood united, grieving, agitating, hoping for change. 5 cases that expose the ugly reality, and there are many more. The brutes are still out there, on the prowl for their next target. They are barging into homes, they are hunting on the streets, using the lure of jobs, and operating under the guise of acquaintance. Are our little girls any safer? 30 days after the brutal Delhi gang rape, the rape horror continues. India pledged to not forget. We saluted the courage of Delhi's brave heart. But did she die in vain?
It doesn't matter whether I wear jeans or kurta or a salwar kameez. He doesn't have the right to rape. No man out there has the right to rape. We have the right to live just the way they are living.
It's exactly at about this time, 1 month ago, that a young couple got into an ill-fated bus. What happened next, the entire nation knows about. The question is, about 30 days later, have things in Delhi and across other cities changed? Are women feeling safer? Has that anger and outburst resulted in tangible improvements on the ground? That's the center stage face-off. Now, joining us on the show is Valerian Santos. He's the father of Mumbai braveheart Keenan Santos. He's seen anger build, he's also seen it dissipate. He's looking at this entire movement very, very closely. With me in the studio is model and socialite Amanpreet Wahi. We've got Pooja Bedi. She's got very strong views on this entire episode and the way it's panning out. Shazia Ilmi from the Aam Aadmi Party is also joining us. In just a moment from now, we'll be joined by the Joint Commissioner of Police for Delhi Police. I want to go across first to Amanpreet. As somebody who's still roaming around in Delhi streets as a woman, do you feel safer 30 days later? Do you think things have changed around you?
Unfortunately, I don't think things have changed at all. It's almost like after such a big revolution, after the case totally shaking us up, I feel the government was just waiting for us to just calm down, go home and forget about the entire incident. I think they were scared of the public opinion, they were scared of the revolt, and that's why so many promises were made that this will go to the fast track and helpline numbers have been made. Whereas I read in the paper that 2 girls who were stuck on the, in the middle of a road, lonely, they tried those helpline numbers and they never worked. So nothing has changed. We are back to square one. The rape cases are happening every day. Unfortunately, they're getting stuck in the system. The law and order loopholes, the juveniles getting away with it. I mean, it's all a chaos.
Shazia, do you share that? Because the system is clamped down. There is now an information deficit. The court hearings are happening in camera. The media cannot report this extensively. The case seems to be fading from public memory. At least that's what the government is hoping for. Do you think there's been such a clampdown that now nothing's changed on the ground and the government thinks it's getting away with it?
Rahul, the stem is permeated far too deep. So a lot of strong measures need to be done. Now, whatever response we've seen, as we've seen from the judiciary, obviously it will take time. The police reforms will take a lot of time because the Act of Parliament has to be enacted to that effect. Now, having said that, what I don't see on the ground is the actual, when there's a complaint, when there any woman who feels unsafe, she wants to make a complaint, she'll dial the helpline number, she'll want to go to the cops. Now, where that is concerned, I don't see anything change at all. The first interface of any victim, survivor, anybody who wants to report a crime against women, against themselves, they don't know where to go. So what has been done? I would like to know concretely, forget the bigger campaigns, awareness campaigns, curriculum changes, police reforms. What has happened right now, the last 1 month, what steps have been taken by the Delhi police to ensure that the thanas and people who are there in the thanas, whether it's the SHO or even the other constables, how sensitized are they? Has anything been done at all to address the issue? Have they been hauled up? Have they been asked? Has there been some kind of training been done as to how to address these issues? What happens? Are they being videographed now at least? How many people come to you? Are FIRs reported? If FIRs are indeed reported, is there a follow-up? How is a complainant treated when she or he interacts with the cops? First interface I'm talking about, and I don't see any change there.
Valerian Santos, are you concerned that as the anger dissipates, the Chalta Hai attitude will creep back once again? It happened in Mumbai, there was a lot of outrage and then everybody forgot all about the case. Do you think 1 month later we are at a juncture where that same threat now faces us, that maybe as people go back to their daily lives, get back to what they do usually, all of this momentum that got built up will get lost? Mr. Santos.
Yes.
Do you think that there's been any change in the last 1 month, attitudinally, in the system? Do you think that things are changing, or do you think that now that the anger has dissipated, we are getting back to the same old Chalta Hai attitude?
I'll tell you from experience that nothing has changed. It is a Chalta Hai attitude. It is just to put, when things happen, they just put pacify. It is like when a baby is crying, the mother puts pacify in the baby's mouth. So they just give promises. And after that promises, no follow-up is done. And nothing is done about it. This Chalta Hai or this time management system, what this our netas or our ministers or whoever concerned are using, they should stop you doing that. When you give a promise, try and fulfill it. And okay, here and there a few days, but not months and years. It is always the thing, they will promise but nothing happens.
That's the same point that I want to come to, because water cannons were fired, tear gas shells were thrown at protesters, section 144 was imposed, so several of the protesters went back home, Pooja. Do you think that the government bought itself time by sending the protesters back, by making these promises, and on the ground nothing really is changed?
And that, Rahul, is exactly what perturbs me, because why would our government want to be on the defensive, want things to die down? Why would they not want to be proactive? Why would they not want to come out in support of women and say that 50% of our country needs help, needs safety, needs safeguarding, needs their rights protected? Why on earth would our government want to always be on the defensive? Anger will not dissipate, because every single day we're reading about another rape case. The other day we had a serial rapist who was let off on good behavior, who promptly went and raped and killed another 9-year-old child. You had another gang rape happening on a bus in Punjab. So it's not that crimes are completely stopped. They are very much happening every single day, and they are being reported. However, the good news is that there's also now reporting of fast track courts being put in place. The fact that there was a judge that gave a sentencing within 10 days of a rape being committed, etc., etc. There are two levels that this thing needs to be looked at. One is on the law level, where you have law enforcement agencies, you have the judicial process, etc., which needs a lot of...
No, but that's the point, Shazia. Several people in government have been arguing that people need to be realistic. Systems don't change in 1 month, attitudes can't be altered in 30 days. Therefore, people need to realize that the government is doing what it can realistically, and people need to bear with the government as it puts in place these new systems and measures. They don't have a magic wand.
That, I'm afraid, Rahul, will simply not cut ice with people who are out there, and you saw that they said enough is enough. You know, we are in such a, it's so pathetic and abysmal, the state of affairs now, and cases are just piling up, and the resentment and anger against the system is so deep now and so intense that this clearly will not work. They will have to act, they will have to be proactive, they'll have to work at lightning speed to address this. I was shocked to know that in Chintan Shivir of one of the parties, I think it's the Congress, they want to discuss how to handle flash mobs. But instead of discussing what needs to be done about this crime, the rising crimes against women, and also handling the issue. So I was shocked to know that they are looking at ways and means to handle flash mobs, but they should know that this will become a reality. People will be on the streets. People have nowhere to go. What are the remedial measures?
Okay.
The law and order situation, the police machinery, when the criminal justice
We've heard from 4 very concerned citizens, Shazia. I want to now introduce to the show Tejinder Luthra. He's the Joint Commissioner of Police in Delhi. Mr. Luthra, we've heard from 4 different voices, all of them making the same case that 30 days later women don't feel safe. They don't feel anything has changed. Their sense is the police was wanting people to go back to their own homes so that life could come back to normal. How do you respond to these concerned citizens, sir?
You know, we have taken many measures for the safety of women in last 30 days, and we have identified various eating hubs, various shopping malls, from where families go back to their homes at, let's say, 10, 11 or 12. We have increased our presence, we have increased our visibility, we have increased our patrolling. We are taking action against ruffians, and very important aspect I would like to tell you, we have intensely increased our gender sensitization program. In no uncertain terms, we have told our staff, you may have a different value system at home, you may have a different mindset at home, but when you come to the police station, you have to behave as a professional police officer. You have to go by the complaint that is given to you, and you have to behave within the 4 walls of the rules and laws.
Pooja Bedi, the Joint Commissioner for Police, making the case that we are doing what we can. Don't think that we've forgotten, because we haven't. Systems take time to change. We are doing what they can. Are you prepared to give the police and the government the benefit of the doubt?
No, of course we would want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but the point is, at the end of the day, people want to see the change, and we're not able to see it effectively enough. I think the need of the hour, honestly, is for a string of swift sentencing and severe punishments to be blasted by the media, to the public. It should reach every village, every town, every city, everyone's ear, so they know that there is a severe crime, a severe punishment if they have any crimes and atrocities against women. Now, it's really sad that the media are the watchdogs of democracy, and it's really unfortunate that you have to spotlight things like this, to get any results. But at the end of the day, there aren't enough results given the gravity of the situation, given the continuous spate of crimes against women. We need far more action, far more stringent punishments, and far swifter sentencing.
Okay, that's a very important point, Tejinder Luthra. You've detailed what the police is doing. We spoke to Amanpreet, you're hearing from Pooja. They're saying women don't feel safer. There is no difference in the way women feel when they're out on the streets. Is that not reflective of the police's failure to make women feel safe, sir?
Rahul, I would like to urge you that we must understand the problem in its right perspective. The canvas of women's safety is very large, and police is on the one side of this canvas. Mistakenly, we have given an impression that police is all over the canvas. There are many agencies, there are many public institutions who have to work for the safety of the women. I would like to quote an important study conducted by Jagori, which is an incredible NGO for women. The study says there are different parameters of women's safety. Public transport is there, dark stretches, street light, women toilets. Of course, police is also there. But unless we provide all these factors, the canvas of women's safety will not be as intense as we want it to be. So we must understand the problem in the right perspective. And another point I would like to make here is, we have been listening to different statements coming from different people from different walks of life, and we have been condemning them that they have a sexist mindset, they have gender specific guidelines. Yes, I individually believe in women equality and freedom, but the statement of these people who are from different walks of life is an indication that there is a deep divide in our society about the equality of women, about the freedom of women.
Okay, you're saying
And
don't
these
just
people
blame the
are
police,
not
the
aliens.
problem is much larger. Why do we become the butt of all the
no,
anger?
no,
Let
I'm
Amanpreet
going to
Wahi...
make a different
Yes,
point.
you made that point.
I'm going to make a different point. Just give me 20 seconds.
Yes.
Just give me 20 seconds. My point is, these people are not aliens. They have a different value system. We must take them on board. We must have a plan to take them on board and then move forward. If we do not take everybody else on the board, how can we move
The
forward?
police becomes, Amanpreet, the target of a lot of anger. The Joint Commissioner is saying it's actually a much deeper societal problem and we're only one small part of it.
I totally agree with him. I think it's a much bigger problem. I think the law is no more in sync with public opinion, or it doesn't work with our daily lives and the way we want it to be conducted. The law has so many loopholes that every day criminals and crime is playing with it. They're taking it so lightly. No one's taking it seriously. I agree with Pooja when she said, why aren't they taking swift action? For FDI, suddenly a parliament session is made and, it's there and the decision's taken overnight. But I kept reading about this. We revolted. What more could we do? We fought with the police. We revolted. We fell down. We got up. We got hurt. We got everything. We did everything possible. We took law, we tried not to take law in our hands. We tried a peaceful revolution. What do you want us to do to wake you up? Why did our government keep saying that, oh, parliament sessions not required, parliament sessions not required? Why wasn't there a parliament session deciding this happened, the juveniles getting away with it, what can we do to change it right now, today, not waiting for the next
Because
juvenile
the same
to
thing
conduct.
has happened, Mr. Santos, with the Lokpal bill, and Shazia was a part of the movement. There was so much anger at that time. The government was saying, no, we'll get you the Lokpal bill, give us 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. More than 48 weeks have passed since and the government's forgotten because now there's no anger. So the moment the anger is gone, the government gets back to life as usual. Are you concerned the same could happen in this case as well, Mr. Santos?
Definitely, I'll tell you that it is possible because, and I agree with Shahija when she's saying that there are loopholes and there are so many things in the law which we are not trying to do anything as a civilized society. As so much forward we have moved, why isn't our law moving forward with the times? Why are we still lagging behind? Why can't something be done on an immediate on our war footing? That boy who was killed, who's claiming to be a juvenile at least, what is the punishment he's going to get? Does he know? He knows everything. But when it comes to punishment, then he's saying that he's a underage. But if he's an underage, then why did you do all this thing? And now even if the law changes, he is not going to get the punishment because the crime happened before that. So why not change it on a war?
Let Mr. Luthra respond to that. You're saying that you're doing what you can, but people want to see faster action, and the government is throwing the rule book or systems back in their face and pleading helplessness. People say that's not good enough, Mr. Luthra.
The gentleman was just talking about the juvenile justice system in our country. I entirely agree with him. Our Juvenile Justice Act allows a juvenile to till the age of 18, he can go scot-free. This system must change in UK, in US, in France. If you are between 16 and 18 and you have committed a heinous crime, you will go to regular court, you will go to regular trial, and you will go to regular jail. In fact, it is high time in our country that we make a system wherein from 12 to 16 we give discretion to the court. Court should see the planning, preparation, mindset, instigation, weapon, and decide that this man should be tried by a regular court and go to regular jail. And from 16 to 18, if he has committed a heinous crime, he should face regular court, regular trial, and regular jail.
No, because one final question very quickly to you, Mr. Luthra. Everything that we did a ground check on, whether it's the GPS systems in the buses, whether it's the home guard again in the buses, the street lights, none of them seem to be functioning. Or the helplines. You know, several measures have been announced, but maybe they'll work for a day or two when it appears in the front page of the papers or we pick it up on headlines today. After that, all these measures prove rather ineffective, Mr. Luthra.
You know, I would talk about the measures that police has taken. You are talking some different measures.
No, but as far as we are concerned, it's the establishment, it's the same system.
You know, you are right. And I believe the other parts of the establishment are also doing their best to put in best resources for the women's safety. But so far as police is concerned, we have increased our patrolling. We have drawn men from other units to put them on the roads. And I am sure we have put new women help desks. We have put new women helpline numbers. We have increased the lines of our PCRs. Our response is very intense and we are not going to slow down the momentum of this response.
Okay, I'm going to leave it over there. Of course, when the system is tested, does it deliver?
Not just about Delhi.
The question is whether the police will deliver for the people when they need it most. When a woman is being threatened and she calls that helpline, will it work? Will the cops come in time? Not like it happens in the movies and often in life. When they always show up after the deed has been done. To all my guests for having joined us on the center stage face off, thank you very much.